Hey guys, what's up? Scott here, and it's kind of day two of me kind of getting back on my feet with my channel and LAL and Patreon and everything, and I'm still kind of half there. It's been a rough 2 weeks. It's still kind of hard for me to put into words like how I feel about what went down with my first experience with LAL, because pretty much, I mean, not going into a lot of detail because I can't right now. I'm kind of pursuing some legal aspects of this due to what happened, but pretty much I brought one of the first groups over here on LAL, and there was one that went really well. A single guy who came over here who went through the training, and I'll actually have video later that I'll be editing and putting together to show his journey, and it went really well. And he was a great guy, and he treated the program great, and I feel like a ton of respect for him for everything he did for the program. And then there's a couple that came over too, and they really abused the program. And pretty much what happened, without going into too much detail, because like I said, it's kind of a matter of like a legal thing that I'm pursuing at this point, is they faked some medical emergencies, which, like I said, I don't pay for anything for people to come over here, or I would lose a ton of money. Like, I don't pay for people's visa, I don't pay for people's flight over here when they, get an apartment. I help them find the apartment, but I don't pay for things like key money and stuff like that. That would cost me like massive amounts out of my own pocket, and there's no way someone would be able to pay me back for that in the first couple of months they're living in Japan. I don't expect that. But one thing I did say was I would cover any kind of medical emergency, because I'm not going to let somebody come to a foreign land and suffer and be scared about any kind of medical. But I did actually do background checks to make sure people didn't have any big medical emergencies before they came over here. For example, like they needed to secure some sort of medicine, or I guess prescription medicine, I should say, that needed to be sent over. And and that was the case with this couple. But apparently what happened later was the wife in the group had come down with some medical emergencies that were unexpected and not listed in their previous interview. And these are kind of really, very, I don't know how to say, like, very layman as far as how these interviews and background checks go. I can't, pay for a LexisNexis search on people to, check everything that they're saying is 100% the truth. I can't pay for background checks that are international. It would just cost a ton of money. And what ended up happening was I was pretty much scammed out of a lot of money for a faked medical emergency by this couple. And that's about as deep as I can go into the story right now. After a lot of this legal stuff clears, I'll get into maybe a better description of what exactly went down. But more or less, this kind of crippled me as far as the LAL thing is going, which doesn't mean it's going to come to a full, complete halt, but it does mean I do need to reconfigure how I do this, obviously, due to the fact that I ended up getting somewhat screwed over with this first venture. Like I said, the one guy had come over, treated the program perfect, pretty much did everything he was supposed to, went through my training, interviewed with a couple companies with the different interview skills I put him up with, used the demo training that I gave him for how to do a demo lesson for a company, and got the first job he interviewed for. He's already set up in his own apartment and everything, working his own job, and has a life now in Japan. And his visa will probably be approved within the next couple of weeks through that other company. So everything went, splendidly. Meanwhile, the other couple has already left Japan, and with a good deal of my money out of the LAL fund, which, I mean, I can only thank you guys enough as far as the Patreons who've helped donate to this and make it possible. But at the same time, I feel like I've let a lot of you down at the same time. Because number one, I fell out of communication during the time that I was dealing with this, both legally and financially, and with, I guess, kind of the corruption that happened on the side of this one applicant. And I feel like super bad about it. It hit me hard, dude. It hit me to a point where I realized like I didn't have the ability to be doing LAL and the live streams where I help people, because it's kind of a situation of like, doctor, heal thyself first. Like, I was really depressed after this. Like, I was, for the last 2 weeks, like I've had trouble just like getting out of bed to get my stuff done each morning. That's how depressed I was. Like, I was in bad shape. I pretty much wasn't talking to anybody. And that's a bad thing to do. You shouldn't do that. You should actually get out there and talk to people when you're in your worst situation. But this is the way I've always worked as an only child. I shut down and kind of like close up into myself. And I'm really sorry about that to everyone who reached out to me during this time and like tried to help and everything, and was asking what the hell was going on. I mean, that's super rude on my part to not be answering you, but at the same time, it's the way I deal with things. So I hope this is a better description of what I've been going through the past couple of weeks. I still owe a even bigger explanation for my Patreons, which I'm actually going to make a separate video just for them to go into a little bit greater detail, because they kind of keep things on the DL. So I actually place a lot more trust in the amount of information I give to them. I kind of have like a lot of personal information I head their way, because I know that they're very, very involved in what my channel is all about and what my LAL program is all about. But at the same time, now I've fallen behind on so many interviews via Skype, via doing training with people online, and it just, that's what makes me feel the worst, is that I'm like letting people down while I'm dealing with this. And that's something I can't really apologize enough for. Like, me just saying, hey, I'm sorry that life happened and I fell behind. I mean, you guys are all dealing with your own stuff too. You've got your own personal problems too. You've got your own life struggles. Some of you are fighting so hard to get over here to Japan, financially, and through your life struggles, and even probably dealing with family struggles too. And here I am putting that on pause because of my own struggles out here with the program that I personally went out of my way to set up myself. So it's completely my own responsibility. So it's something I need to just man up and take charge of again, and get back on with, getting more people over here. Again, I mean, I can't really say sorry enough for falling behind on this. It's been 2 weeks now, and I've got a lot to catch up to, and that's on me. That's totally on me. I thank everyone, the team and the crew that's been helping me out a lot with this, that have, luckily for me, stayed together doing work still and talking to people and letting them know that, don't worry, Scott will be back. I've barely even communicated with them at the same time, and I feel like crap for that. And I feel like crap for not being in communication with my Patreons either. I hope that explains things better. I hope that makes you guys feel like you're more in the in of like what's going on, that I've kept communication open, that I've been as transparent as I possibly can, even with dealing with this. And I hope you'll give me a chance to catch up with a lot of you and continue the training that some of you have asked for, and continue the journey over here to Japan. Thanks again. I'll talk to you guys later.